what they did reveal was that there was more than 4,700 transactions from 4 banks.
And to that point, there's so much we still don't have visibility on. That additional $100+ million in client fees, where was that money coming from? And that sort of goes to, what Senator Ron Wyden has been doing in the Senate, tracking down payments in and out of Jeffrey Epstein's bank accounts. Talk to us a bit about that and sort of what we can look for on that front and what we might learn if that information gets out.
So last week, Senator Wyden, who's on the Senate Finance Committee, which, as we mentioned before, has been doing more research on the amounts of money that Black paid Epstein, he put out this letter, and he also spoke with the New York Times, and basically he revealed that early last year, in 2024, some investigators from the Senate Finance Committee were able to look at these files in the Treasury Department on Epstein's finances and transactions in and out of his bank accounts. They were only able to take notes and weren't able to take any of them with them. But what they did reveal was that there was more than 4,700 transactions from 4 banks. So that's JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, BNY Mellon, and Deutsche Bank. That show, 4,700 transactions with Epstein's bank accounts at these banks that totaled at least $1.9 billion. Now, much of that could be the funds we've already spoken about, but that's such an enormous amount that it really makes you think that there's more there that we need to investigate. Senator Wyden has really publicly called for this. He sent a letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi urging her to investigate, her and the DOJ and the Treasury Department to, if not make these files public, to dedicate a team to investigate them, because there could be more information in those, right, about who the other clients were. There's also suggestions that Epstein had links to Russian banks that have since been sanctioned, which could be tied to a potential sex trafficking ring he had in Eastern Europe tied to his alleged sex trafficking operation. So not just on sort of his client base, but on everything else that we know about him and these crimes that he was being investigated for, there could be a lot more information in those documents that haven't been investigated yet. And so now that there is so much renewed public interest in this case, I think it'll be interesting to see how that develops, whether there is an investigation into those Treasury Department files. But, to Senator Wyden's point, it seems worth investigating and getting at least more resources put into that.